text me yesterday if is it possible to talk about the Crawford fight for February or meet to yesterday here in Los Angeles with him.
The fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is one that boxing fans have longed to see, but various political hurdles in the
ability to cut off the ring is more, and he's bigger and stronger, and I think there's a risk there for Crawford. But this is why you tune in, right? Crawford keeps doing the amazing.
However, the fight now seems more likely thanks to Turkey, who played a crucial role in making it happen. During a recent press appearance, Canelo shared some details.
Yo, Turkey, tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes! Let's go! Canelo, come on!
Although Canelo is gearing up for his fight with Crawford, he's also eyeing another major opponent, and it looks like that fight might not be coming to fruition either. Let's catch up on the
Canelo fight, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk, with the...
At 36 years old, Terence Crawford is all about taking on the biggest names in boxing. He no longer wants to fight the lesser-known opponents, he wants the bouts that will define his career. That's why he's targeting Canelo Alvarez. For Crawford, this is the kind of fight that could elevate his legacy, and he knows it. Crawford has already made history by becoming the first male fighter in the four-belt era to be undisputed in 2 weight classes, an achievement no one else has matched. His most recent victory was a dominant one against Errol Spence Jr., another champion. Crawford took control from the opening round and ended the fight in the 9th. It was a performance that left no doubt about his special talents.
How can you, a man coming from 147, I know he's a great man. Crawford is a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could.
Now, Crawford has set his sights on Canelo, who is also an undisputed champion, but there's a major hurdle. Canelo competes in a weight class 3 divisions above Crawford's last fight. It's a massive jump, one that most boxers would shy away from. But Crawford isn't most fighters, he's confident he can make it work. Canelo, on the other hand, has long been skeptical about the matchup. He previously dismissed it, claiming there wasn't much to gain. A win would likely lead to accusations that Crawford was too small, and a loss could hurt Canelo's reputation. What's the point? He used to say. But now,
bringing up Canelo, I think that's weird, because you'd have to gain 20 pounds?
Yeah.
But they say that's the money fight. That's the mega fight, that's the money fight, that's the only thing that makes sense for Terence Crawford.
Well, catch weight. We can do something at a catch weight.
What weight you think?
Probably 160 or something.
But you said 154 is the highest you want to go.
Yeah, 150.
At a recent event called No Golf, No Life, Canelo spoke about Crawford in a much more positive light. He acknowledged Crawford as a great fighter and expressed his willingness to take the fight, if the financials were right. At this stage of my career, I'll fight anyone, Canelo said. But it has to make sense for me. The money has to be there. Why not? This is where Saudi Arabia comes into the picture. Turkey has already invested heavily to bring big fights to Saudi Arabia, and he's ready to do it again. His top target? A Canelo vs Crawford showdown, with a kind of money on offer that could make this fight a reality.
Like Ali Sheikh say that he sent you an offer, possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And look, I'm 100% focused on this fight.
So why the change of heart from Canelo? Crawford has been making waves. After defeating Spence, Crawford moved up to super welterweight and defeated Israel Maduf, becoming the WBA world champion in the process. Not only did Crawford show he could handle bigger opponents, but he also displayed a new, more aggressive style. Unlike his previous bouts, where he relied on movement, he stood his ground more and engaged in exchanges, catching Canelo's attention. Speaking to Sway's Universe, Canelo admitted to noticing this change in Crawford's approach. "I'm in," Canelo said. "If the money is right, I'm ready. He's a great fighter, but in my weight class, it's an easy fight, easy money. I saw in his last fight that he doesn't move as much, so I'm interested."
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo.
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight.
This comment sparked a lot of debate. Is Canelo underestimating Crawford, or is he right to be confident? Canelo has fought opponents of all shapes and sizes, adjusting his strategy accordingly. But Crawford is different. He's not just skilled, he's a fighter who knows how to adjust. Against Spence, Crawford was nearly untouchable, and against Maduff, he was powerful and aggressive. Crawford can do it all, and that makes him a dangerous opponent.
Crawford could beat him, because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for.
Crawford isn't backing down either. If he wants to fight Canelo, he'll need to move up another 14 pounds to 168. That's a significant weight increase, especially for someone who started his career as a lightweight. But Crawford seems determined to prove that skill can overcome size. Canelo, however, is still hesitant. Last year, he told BoxingAZ Tecker that fighting Crawford might not be worth it. "They'll criticize me no matter what," Canelo said. "If I win, they'll say Crawford was too small. If I lose, it'll be even worse." It's a lose-lose situation.
If Crawford and Canelo were to come to fruition, you see that being competitive, still even with the 21-pound difference, Jim?
If I'm Crawford, I don't want to have to go up to 168 pounds to get the fight. I want to somehow gull Canelo into thinking that it's okay to fight him at, best of all possible.
But now, Canelo's stance has shifted, and the reason is clear: the money. Saudi Arabia is offering huge paydays, and that kind of money is hard to ignore. A fight with Crawford isn't just about money, though, it's about legacy. Beating Crawford would be a major feather in Canelo's cap. Losing to Crawford would be a shock, but it would also prove he's willing to take risks. Fans are divided. Some believe Canelo's power and size would be too much for Crawford, while others think Crawford's speed, technique, and intelligence could win the fight. This is the kind of matchup that gets people excited. Everyone has an opinion, and no one knows for sure what the outcome will be. But there's an interesting angle to the story. Some people believe Canelo has been avoiding Crawford. After all, he dismissed the idea of fighting Crawford for years. Was it really the size difference that held him back, or did Canelo see something in Crawford that made him hesitant? Some fans think Canelo's recent interest in the fight is less about the money and more about size.
The power. Or by no power? Yeah. We're not to roll with punches. We're not to take power. You can take your power away from him. How you take a power puncher? Take the power away from a puncher. Let us know. What? No, I ain't gonna tell you. You should know.
Slide off, take something off the shot here and there.
That's what
Crawford, on the other hand, is fearless. He's chasing greatness and isn't concerned with who stands in his way. For him, this fight is about proving he's the best, no matter the odds. This mindset is what makes Crawford such a special fighter. As of now, nothing is set in stone. Canelo is still considering his options. He could fight David Benavidez, the IBF super middleweight champion, which would be a significant fight in its own right. But the buzz around Canelo versus Crawford is undeniable, and with Turkey Eilish working behind the scenes, it feels like this fight is closer than ever.
Wonder how effective Crawford can be if he keeps moving up in weight. You're starting to see that, now he's not quite as strong. The knockout streak is over, but he can box really, really well. But Majimov.
David Benavidez, the undefeated super middleweight powerhouse, has a solid understanding of the challenges in the 168-pound division. His thoughts on a potential fight between Terence Crawford and Saul Canelo Alvarez carry weight, given his experience. In a conversation with Showzid, Benavidez made it clear that while he respects Crawford's skill set, he believes the odds would be heavily against him in a bout with Canelo.
Looking for the big fight, Crawford Canelo, we're preparing for this. You want to do everything, Crawford.
Benavidez's opinion is rooted in Crawford's recent fights and the significant size difference between him and Canelo. Crawford dominated the welterweight division for years and only recently moved into the super welterweight ranks, where he defeated Israel Maduf to claim the WBA title. While Crawford's skill and adaptability were on display, Benavidez observed that Crawford's power didn't carry over as effectively in the 154-pound class as it did at 147. "I'm not saying he had problems, but he didn't look as powerful as he did at 147, Benavidez noted. This observation is crucial because power is often a game-changer, especially when facing someone like Canelo, who is known for his granite chin and ability to thrive in exchanges.
Versus Crawford, the biggest fight in the game.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like when you're looking at Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, this is the next thing beyond.
Benavidez also highlighted the enormous challenge Crawford faces in moving up 2 additional weight classes to 168 pounds. It's not just about gaining the weight, but about managing it effectively when facing bigger, stronger fighters who are accustomed to competing at that level. Canelo has been dominant at super middleweight for years, taking on some of the toughest opponents in the division. Benavidez believes that while Crawford is incredibly skilled, he would struggle with both the size and experience disadvantage. If Crawford is facing Canelo in his first fight at 168, he'll have a lot of disadvantages to overcome, Benavidez remarked.
With Crawford going up, I believe he can put a beating on anybody 154, 160.
But not 68.
Nah, Benavidez is...
Canelo.
Canelo, I think he's a smart fighter. He doesn't rely on his power. Crawford ain't a...
Canelo's impressive track record at super middleweight strengthens Benavidez's point. He has unified the division and consistently shown his adaptability against all types of fighters, whether they are aggressive punchers or slick boxers. His most recent win over Edgar Berlanga Jr. showcased his ability to dictate the pace and neutralize his opponent's strengths. For Crawford, stepping into the ring with someone like Canelo would be facing a fighter who is not only naturally bigger but also vastly experienced in handling various styles. Benavidez also touches on the psychological aspect of the fight. Canelo's confidence in his power and size at 168 could give him a critical edge, while Crawford would have to mentally and physically adjust to fighting in a weight class he's never competed in.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's the money fight, you know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you, but it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It would be a great fight, but I feel like if I deserve my opportunity.
In boxing, the mental aspect can be just as vital as the physical. Canelo's comfort in his weight class could be decisive. Benavidez, drawing from his own experiences as a fighter in the same division, noted that super middleweights bring a unique combination of power and endurance. Having sparred and fought against fighters at this weight, Benavidez has a deep understanding of the challenges Crawford would face. He emphasized that fighters at 168 pounds are accustomed to absorbing and delivering punches with an intensity that could overwhelm someone coming from a lighter division.
Yeah, the size is an issue. Canelo is way bigger. This fight's at 54. He's got 2 weight classes to broach in order to get to 168 to fight Canelo. But as you said, champ, Canelo has become increasingly inactive in fights. He throws less and less.
Benavidez also delved into the stylistic dynamics of a potential Canelo-Crawford matchup. While Crawford is known for his adaptability and ability to outthink opponents, Benavidez believes Canelo's experience and ring IQ could nullify many of Crawford's strengths. Canelo has already faced elite technicians, and his ability to control the ring and impose his will has been key to his success. Against Crawford, Canelo's pressure and size advantage could make it difficult for Crawford to execute his usual game plan. Additionally, Benavidez pointed out the toll weight changes can have on a fighter's body. Moving up to 168 pounds would require Crawford to add muscle, while still maintaining the speed and stamina that are central to his success.
I mean, I can't really say nothing about that. If that's what he wants to do, then that's what he's going to do. Canelo is a man that he does anything he wants to do. I don't think really what people say affects him. But I feel like the people, they want to see David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. It's the biggest fight to make happen, and I feel like I'm the biggest.
Benavidez emphasized that the transition to a higher weight class is not simple. Fighters who bulk up often lose some of the qualities that made them successful in lower divisions. Against a fighter like Canelo, who is adept at exploiting even the smallest weaknesses, any loss of speed or endurance could prove costly. What makes Benavidez's analysis particularly compelling is his deep respect for Crawford's technical abilities. He acknowledged that Crawford is one of the most gifted fighters he's ever seen. This isn't a critique of Crawford's skill, but a realistic assessment of the challenges he'd face in this specific matchup. Crawford is one of the best technical fighters I've ever seen, Benavidez said, making it clear that his opinion isn't about doubting Crawford's talent, but recognizing the difficulties involved.
Really like to bash somebody because at the end of the day, I give respect to Canelo. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
He's one of the best Mexican fighters of all time.
But wanting to fight him, David, is not bashing him.
Yeah.
That's not bashing him.
But that's what I'm saying. They spin the narrative on Instagram. Right. If I say something, they say this or that. But I only want what I earned.
Right.
And I'm entitled to it from what.
Canelo isn't just a physically imposing fighter. He's also a master strategist, always looking to exploit his opponent's weaknesses. Against Crawford, Canelo would likely rely on his size and power to wear Crawford down. Benavidez believes Canelo's ability to adjust and dominate at 168 pounds would ultimately prove too much for Crawford. His comments also connect to the broader context of boxing history. Fighters who move up multiple weight classes often struggle against naturally bigger opponents, no matter how skilled they are. The jump from 154 to 168 pounds is a significant one, and Benavidez's insights highlight the risks involved. Crawford's willingness to take on such a challenge is a testament to his ambition, but Benavidez's perspective serves as a reminder of the tough road ahead.
Good friend, my brother, Terence Crawford, wants to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
Just from your expert opinion, knowing how Canelo fights, what he's like in the ring, I know you haven't been in the ring with Terence, but what do you think of that fight?
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's...
Benavidez's insights add depth to the ongoing discussion about a potential Crawford-Canelo fight. His respect for both fighters, along with his detailed analysis, makes his opinion a key one in the boxing world. While fans continue to speculate about the outcome, Benavidez's perspective underscores the complexities of the matchup. Canelo Alvarez, the face of modern boxing, has never shied away from big challenges, and his recent comments only fuel further speculation about his future. Speaking to DAZN, Canelo revealed one fighter he still dreams of facing, Floyd Mayweather.
But these same writers out here, they praise Canelo. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Motherfucker easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40.
Though Canelo would love to avenge his only professional loss, even he admits that a rematch with Mayweather is little more than a fantasy. Obviously, we know it's not going to happen, Canelo said. But yes, I would love to get rid of that little thorn. The loss to Mayweather in 2013 still looms over Canelo's career, not as a blemish, but as a constant reminder of how far he's come. At just 23 years old, Canelo was inexperienced and outclassed by Mayweather's ring IQ. The unanimous decision victory for Mayweather was more of a masterclass than a contest, and for a perfectionist like Canelo, that loss is hard to forget.
The others say, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many.
Now, more than a decade later, Canelo is a vastly different fighter. Stronger, smarter, and arguably the most complete boxer in the sport today, a rematch with Mayweather would give him the chance to rewrite history. He'd be able to prove that the young fighter who entered the ring in 2013 has transformed into a man who is virtually unrecognizable. Fans would love to see if Canelo could do what Manny Pacquiao and many others couldn't, defeat Mayweather. However, Mayweather seems content in his retirement. Since retiring with a perfect 50-0 record in 2017, he's only appeared in exhibitions, but has shown no interest in a serious competitive return.
You fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because, if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so
Despite Mayweather's recent comments about comparing his fight with Canelo to his bout with Pacquiao, there's little indication that he's actually interested in returning to the ring. But what makes Canelo's dream even more intriguing is its intersection with his other ambitions. While the Mayweather rematch may be out of reach, a fight with Terence Crawford isn't. Crawford, a pound-for-pound great, has been circling Canelo's orbit for some time now. If the fight happens, it would see two of the best boxers of this generation face off, though the circumstances heavily favor the Mexican champion. Crawford's ascent to super middleweight to challenge Canelo would be historic. Even Canelo, despite his confidence, would have to take this challenge seriously. Interestingly, this fight could also serve as a stepping stone toward luring Mayweather out of retirement.
What I have to say to Canelo is this. You proved yourself already. You proved yourself. You fought a lot of great fighters.
While the likelihood of Mayweather stepping back into the ring seems slim, a dominant win over Crawford could serve as the kind of statement that might pique Mayweather's interest. Mayweather has always been drawn to the spotlight, and the narrative of unfinished business with Canelo could prove irresistible. Canelo knows how to sell a fight. By taking on Crawford first, he's setting the stage for a dramatic build-up to a possible Mayweather rematch. It's a brilliant strategy. Beat one of the best fighters today, then call out the man who defeated you in your prime. Even if Mayweather remains retired, the mere thought of such a fight would electrify the boxing world.
I like to speak the truth. Now, at 23, he fought Floyd Mayweather. He was 23, I was 36.
Canelo's ambitions go beyond just Crawford or Mayweather. He's expressed a desire to completely dominate the super middleweight division, leaving no question about who reigns supreme at 168 pounds. That's why the recent developments around David Benavidez's move to 175 pounds are so intriguing. Benavidez had long been considered one of the few fighters capable of pushing Canelo to his limits. But with Benavidez seemingly out of the picture, Canelo can now focus on Crawford and possibly even Mayweather. Canelo's willingness to fight Crawford, despite the significant weight disparity, shows his respect for Crawford's skills. He recognizes that Crawford's technical ability and adaptability present a unique challenge, even if the physical advantages strongly favor Canelo. It's a fight that would test both men in different ways. For Crawford, it's about proving he can compete with the best at 168. For Canelo, it's about cementing his legacy as the king of boxing. What do you think about the potential Canelo versus Crawford fight? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. See you next time.